A little bit. Zipping and zopping, yeah. Right. Not. No Brie audio. The TLDR of what Brie was saying is Brie doesn't want to dox herself, but boy does she want to. No idea. No idea why your audio is not coming through. Well, do we have a Brie? Actually, I can just like unmute the stream and listen to you. I don't hear you. Probably. Make sure the input's right. Fen says, good day at work today then, XD.
How's that? Okay, there we go. Okay. Somehow it got set to default on OBS.
There we go.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, you know, it was an alright day. Just normal one. Just like things brewing in the background. We were just talking about various names of things and the interesting choices both of our institutions have made about specific names. Fen, I'll text you what I'm talking about in the break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like I am at my most silly when I am fully sleep deprived.
How sleep deprived are you, Claire?
Quite. But this is my own doing.
On a scale of 1 to 8 hours, how sleep deprived are you? That's not great. I mean, I have a lot to talk. I was very excited to get 6 hours of sleep last night because the previous 3 nights I'd gotten 5 hours of sleep. That's fine. What?
Oh my god.
What?
Even I have gone back to 4 hours being an irregularity. Like, sure, I was doing it every day for a week during the peak of grad school. Don't do that. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, don't do that.
But, like, now it was like, oof. And also I did this to myself. I was just, like, programming my own game. I fully was not doing work. I was like, I want to work on this fun little game. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I have to do interviews. I need to go to sleep. You were Riddle, right? Or Riddell?
I think
Riddle.
I was.
We're sticking with Riddle.
Was.
Right,
I think I was Riddle, yeah. Yeah, everyone's been like this week, yeah. Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough week. We'll be fine. Alright, I just remember my Riddle voice. This is the special viewing room. I'm sure gentlemen such as yourself will understand. But seeing as this is a special room not open to the general public, I must insist that you all be on your best behavior.
I'll be a good boy. Wow, this room feels so grand and elegant. It's gonna take me a while to get back into loop, Luke. It's my first time in here too. I must admit, I feel a little nervous.
This is like... It certainly does give some indication of the importance of the book being kept here. That book in the center must be the Grand Grimoire. This reminds me of when I took an English class and we went into the special collections room for it, and we got to look at some old books. It was so cool, and I was terrified the whole time. A fun fact about old books, a fun fact about the special collections room that I went to, you have to wash your hands first because... Yeah,
that makes sense.
You're not supposed to wear gloves because gloves can damage over time. Hands are
interesting.
It's actually the safest to have clean hands, and so you don't wear. Anytime you see someone dealing with like a fancy book in a movie and they're like wearing gloves, that's wrong. You don't do that.
That's wrong. Even like a cloth glove.
Yeah, even like a cloth glove. No, you don't do that. You just wash your hands. You're very careful really about where and how you touch things.
Like corners and whatnot.
Yeah. You just have to be very, very careful. which is
Do
why.
you use tools at all, even no? Just
Yeah,
hands?
no tools or anything. You just, I mean,
Wow.
it's interesting. Like when we went to see the Book of Kells, which is this very very old Bible in Ireland. Frankly, overrated, I would say, as a trip. I'm sure it has more meaning if you're Christian, but in terms of seeing old books, kind of boring. But like they don't even let you like touch it. They have it in like a case, and they like flick the page with like a thing, that like very gently does it, because it's just like that much use with people's hands. Like, it's kind of wild. Yeah, if
like
you're ever...
I understand things
Yes.
being old or like is like cool, but at a certain point, just make a new one. Like, I get it. It's cool, and preserving things is good, but at a certain point...
Just make a new one.
like,
Claire,
so people can read the book.
Claire looking at the 13th century illustrated like version of, you know, whatever story in this library. Ugh, so old. Cringe.
How's the oh, you had it.
There we go.
Nice, good job. I was about to ask how it was going.
Should I look at the book?
Yeah, let's do it.
I wonder if
see how old
this
this
is
book
gonna be a
is.
puzzle for sure, right? We're like 100% certain.
Oh
of that.
yeah, you're gonna have to touch the pages with your gloves. This is incredible. Okay. See, now my barometer for Luke is just saying Professor, and I just have to say Professor to get back into the Luke voice. This is incredible. I always want to roll my R's. Incredible. It's crammed with information about magic. People say it's the magic used by the witches. If that's so, then the magic we saw in London must be in here somewhere too.
That may well be true, Luke. A tome as thick as this must surely contain such information.
Finding it is a bit daunting, though. Huh? What's this? Professor? See, there it is. This page is different from the others.
What is this?
This page isn't about magic at all. Something about it makes me feel uneasy.
What if they get sucked into another book while they're in the book? That would be fucked up. Like, it's just books all the way down. It's like Inception, but for books.
Professor, I'm allergic to books. Why does this keep happening to us?
I love the presumably bad description of and the bad faith read on make a replication of evil directive. Yeah, they do make new versions, Claire, to be clear. They do.
Yes,
like...
yes, I understand. I was joking. I do understand that there are actual legit copies for the purpose of preservation also. Thank you. Anyways, Layton.
Yeah. Luke, this page, it appears to be addressed to someone, don't you think?
Oh, you mean like a message? Let's read it, Professor.
From a time long ago. Should I do this in Layton voice, or should I do this in...
I think Layton voice, yeah.
Okay. From a time long ago. The ancient flame has been locked in an infinite vault of books, waiting for the awakening. When the sun and moon watching over the sage swap places to show their true form, the door to the past will open. Once a person of perspicacity,
I'm googling what
has
that
filled...
means.
Is that like perspiration? What's a
perspicacity?
perspicacity? Perspicacity.
The quality of
Basically.
having a ready insight into things or shrewdness.
Interesting.
Oh, perception. It's a perception.
Oh, okay.
So,
Once a person
so
with a high perception check has fulfilled the challenge, the door will be
see that?
open. Until then, I will wait for the time of the awakening.
What is that? What is this?
How can this be? Why is this in here? How does something like this get into the Grand Grimoire? It's just not possible. I can't understand it. No one entered the special viewing room before you came here. And whenever someone enters this room, I always accompany them in this way.
Perspicacity is how it's pronounced.
Okay, perspicacity.
Anyways,
So, that means that the page must have changed at some point, doesn't it? Could that really be possible? Perhaps with some kind of device, like a pen.
Unthinkable. There's only one key to this room, so no one can enter without being granted my permission. I assure you it's true, on my honor as a curator.
But then, how can anyone have done this?
Luke, I believe we both know who might be capable of such an act.
You mean witches, don't you? Witches?
We don't know yet who changed that page, but the more important matter is what's written here. The infinite vault of books mentioned here presumably refers to the Great Archive, which implies there is a secret of some sort hidden within the library.
Professor, what about this part? A person of perspicacity.
Well, I believe that could be referring to Carmine.
He came here regularly to investigate.
So it's certainly somewhat likely, which means our next objective is to find the answer that he was looking for.
It's a bit of a spooky message. But if we can open this door to the past, then we'll surely be one step closer to solving this mystery.
Just a moment, please. I'm the curator here, and I won't be allowing you to investigate anything without my permission.
Sorry, you mean we can't investigate?
Not at all. I'm simply insisting that you will allow me to accompany you. There should be no doors in this library that I don't know about. And even if there is something hidden somewhere, as suggested by this message, it is my duty as curator to know what that means. What that is. I completely understand. Wait, I need to actually zero in on where he's at. I completely understand, Miss Mystery. We can only benefit from your presence. Now then, how about we all make our way back to the entrance? Let's think about where this door could be from there.
all I'm saying is, what if the new Riddler looked like her?
Like, do you mean?
Yeah.
Hang on, the Riddler in what? Like, do you, not from...
Literally just like new design for the Riddler. It's Riddle Mystery. Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
I mean, listen, they are doing
I wouldn't be down with that.
They are doing a new DC canon thing. They're doing like a new.
Are they
thing.
really? Okay.
It's called the Absolute Universe. I've heard about it. Apparently, Batman is a big fucking guy who's not rich, and he has a cool axe.
Okay, so a lumberjack?
He's like a trades guy, yeah.
Okay.
But he's also a crime fighter.
So this is the absolute versus the relative DC.
The
Got it.
more important one, obviously, is that Wonder Woman... Here, let me just show you what Absolute Wonder Woman looks like. Because I think it actually
Absolute
is to
Wonder
your
Woman.
taste. It's actually fully to your taste, I think.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read this line while you look this up.
But, Professor, supposing there is a door...
Hang on.
Oh, sure, okay. It's Wonder Woman, but on a horse and with tattoos.
Yeah, it's a dark hat. It's a cool fucking death horse.
You're not wrong. I'm with it.
That message is just a puzzle in itself. Don't you think it'll be difficult to find?
I'm just putting this in the chat so that people can see what I'm talking about.
You may be right. And this library is so large. Finding anything will surely take a good deal of our time.
No, I think not. You're both missing something here. I believe I may well know what is meant by the words in the message.
Really, Professor?
Yes, if you'll just remember the wording.
But I hate remembering things. And words.
From a time long ago. The ancient flame has been locked in an infinite vault of books, waiting for the awakening. When the sun and the moon watching over the sage swap places to show their true form, the door to the past will open. Once a person of perspicacity, whatever, has fulfilled the challenge,
Perspicacity.
the door will be open. That's what I said. Until then, I will wait for the time of the awakening.
Fen says, I can't believe they're ripping off my character that I describe as Batman in a hijab with a throwing axe.
I mean, it's a big fighting axe, not a throwing axe, and I don't think he has a hijab. So your character is objectively cooler still. If you'll both take a look around this room, you'll notice we are surrounded by books. There is probably nowhere else in the library with more books than there are right here.
There are books extending. Excuse me. There are books extending all the way up. We're completely surrounded by them. You'd think we're in some sort of library.
And the key to opening the door is in the sun and moon watching over the sage.
But what could that mean? There are no windows, so no light can come in from the sun or moon.
I love like looking at the background and seeing what is clearly what they're talking about. It's really funny.
Don't worry, you'll be able to do it.
Yeah, precisely. Which means it is not the real sun and moon that are being referred to here. It's the ultra sun and ultra moon.
Thank you. I needed to go there.
And they are located over where they can watch over the sage. In other words, behind. Perhaps you've already realized to whom the sage is referring? Right then.
Semi-sage, Professor.
Too true, Luke. Let's find this sun and moon watching over the sage and open the door. Gee, I wonder what they could be referring to.
Damn, I wonder where they are.
It must be referring to this. Must be referring to... maybe not. Maybe it must be referring over here. Okay, I'll just do it.
What's that?
Cool. Looks cool.
It's
It does look cool.
it's a sun and moon construction. Oh. So the sage must be...
That's right. The sage of this library refers to the curator. And this sun and moon construction is located right behind her seat. So that's what the sun and moon watching over the sage was referring to. Also, if you look at it, it looks the most like these things spin and reveal a door I've ever seen in my life.
And when the sun and moon swap places, their true form will be shown. But how are we going to do that, Professor? And the door to the past will open. So all we need to do is work out what that means. But what does it mean by their true form?
Well, if we interpret it at face value, it would suggest that we are currently seeing their untrue form. Have a look at this. There seems to be some sort of mechanism in place. I like to imagine Riddle just watching them as he's like fiddling with some shit.
Also, just imagining a villain being like, "You can't defeat me. This is my untrue form."
Professor, if you look closely, there seems to be a puzzle hidden here.
I'm shocked. A puzzle? In this game?
Oh, that's actually fun. Okay.
2 tiles on
Okay,
each
yeah,
side
yeah,
with an
I
image
see.
of the sun and moon. Maneuver the tiles so the sun and the moon swap sides.
This is great, actually. I love this.
Slide to place and touch can remove it. Okay, sure, yeah.
This is essentially, so do you know the puzzle of like the rings where you can like put one ring at a time and they have to be like the same size? This is sort of similar to that, I think.
Sure, that makes sense.
Because you essentially have a rotation that you could semi-alter.
I'm trying to figure out where
Right.
stuff should go.
Yeah.
Something obviously has to go up in here at some point.
Mm-hmm. I think you just have to, like, start trading them is the first thing. Yeah. Yeah. And now you can start, like, rotating.
What do you mean? There's no rotating.
Like, if you put... So, if you put the sun side down one,
What?
or how do you... see. Ah, there we go. Yeah, uh-huh. So then you have to kind of move the sun back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you've swapped one. So now you kind of just repeat that. Towers of Hanoi, yes. Nice.
This really is going to be just a trial and error situation.
Oh, no, no, no. I think you were there. No, no, no. If you kept the water there and moved one of the sun pieces to the other side and then moved the water in, yeah. And then
Yeah.
move the water in. Yeah, there we go. And now if you move a sun out slightly, you can rotate the water out and then put the sun back in. Just like rotate the right-hand side. Yeah, that worked too. Nice.
Like, there's definitely way more efficient ways I could have done this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whatever.
Like you just need to think about it as rotation, but like you're basically there already.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so moon's all in place, which means I just need to... Hang on.
I think you... Yeah. Nice.
I'm glad I'm not getting points for efficiency here.
You did it. You did it great. Oh, wait, were you getting points? Because you did 70 moves.
I don't think it... I think it counts it, like, if you wanted to beat your best, you know? But, like, it doesn't... It's not
I
affecting
see.
my Pickerats. Which, of course, are very important
Right.
because, as we know, Pickerats are used for... Pickerats are, of course, not to be confused with hint coins, which are used for hints. But Pickerats are, of course...
Mm-hmm. I like how the whole rug descends.
That's
Like,
really
it's not
good.
just the floor, it's the rug.
Yeah.
Oh, Professor, there's a stairway.
You thought it was a rug, but actually it's a runner.
Ha ha!
Who would have thought there could be anything like this hidden here?
The ancient flame has been locked in an infinite vault of books. I wonder just what we'll find down there. An entrance to a basement below the Great Archive? Am I right in thinking that you knew nothing of this stairway's existence? That's right. And if I, as the curator, knew nothing of it, then surely no one else could. It's hard to believe that a secret such as this could have been hidden here all this time. Who could have possibly left us a message? It might be wise not to let anyone see what has been revealed here. Oh my god, look! There's a staircase in the library! Whoa! Hey everyone, look at this! I'm gonna do a painting of it! I agree. I'll be back as soon as I've asked the other visitors to leave the building. That's not suspicious.
Ma'am, why do we have to leave the building?
I can't tell you that. Get out. I have a gun.
Give the Riddler a gun.
Well then, are you both ready?
Part of force femming the Riddler is giving the Riddler a gun. Anyways.
I thought we force femmed Flinch. I thought.
Yeah, we're
Flinch
doing
was-
everybody.
You betcha. Let's go, Professor. You too, Isabella. I forgot you were here. Oh, okay then, Luke.
I do feel like the force femming into Riddle jokes are revealing something about how we view Riddle as just a character who has inherently been force femmed. I don't know why that would be this character.
I just think the name Riddle Mystery is such a choice.
It's such a I love her. I think she's great. She's an icon. She's the moment, etc., etc. This place appears to be some sort of historical site.
It's amazing to think a place like this could exist under the library. I wonder when it dates from.
I'm not sure, but I can't wait to pillage it and put it in a museum.
Ah, that mural. Let's pillage it. It can't be.
All right,
I have one just like it in my living room.
Wow, that was quick.
That was
Good
quick.
job.
I think it's funny they were from all the lights, but not this one though. It's funny.
That one's not special.
The ceiling around here is caved in, and it's not special at all.
I know I have to look at the mural, but let me look at this first. Something is written here, but the letters are too worn away by time to be legible.
This wall painting is a bit scary, isn't it? A monster attacking a burning town. I'm terrified of burning towns.
I know you are, Luke. There's also a woman hurling fire. I suppose she must be a witch. That woman is the Great Witch. Miss Dare? This certainly doesn't bode well, a painting of the Great Witch here. Do you know anything about the witch in this painting? You don't know of the Great Witch? But how can that be possible for a man of your learning? Well, that's, never mind. I'm sure you must have your reasons. I don't wish to pry. I appreciate that. Would you mind perhaps telling us a bit about this witch? The woman in this painting is the Great Witch Bizella. And this painting depicts the infamous legendary fire that she caused. The legendary fire. She is the witch in charge of all witches, whose very existence poses the greatest threat known to Labyrinthia. The Great Witch, Bizella, cannot be considered the same as other witches. She is the root of all Labyrinthia's woes. The Great Witch, Bizella. What do you mean by the root of all Labyrinthia's woes? The reason for all Labyrinthia's suffering at the hands of witches lies in the very existence of the Great Witch Bizella. Would you mind elaborating? The Great Witch Bizella is the source of all the other witches. As long as she exists, there will be no end to other witches. While the Great Witch Bizella is with us, the townspeople will forever live in fear under the shadow of witches.
So you mean that if there were no great witch, there would be peace?
No Great Witch? That's easy enough to say. But while all of the knights have been searching for Brazella, nobody has ever been able to find her. There are very few clues, and no one has ever seen her in person. Nevertheless, the Great Witch is undoubtedly present in Labyrinthia. How can you be so certain? Because her deep claw marks can still be seen throughout the town.
So Aspella's the Great Witch, right?
Unless it's Darklaw. It might be Darklaw.
That was my other thought. Maybe, yeah.
Claw marks?
You must have seen them too. The traces of that fire when you entered this library. Ah, yes. There was a part of this building that had suffered noticeable damage. Brazella is a fearful witch, who has all other witches doing her bidding. Long ago, this town was reduced to ashes as a result of her fiery magic.
Sort of like a witch manager. Reduced to ashes?
That must have been, let me see, 100 or so years ago. It was on the evening of the Fire Festival, held every year in honor of the Great Witch Brazella. The Great Witch's fury was unleashed without warning as the entire town burned. That's Did you say in honor of her? That was the legendary fire. Every person in this town knows about it.
All managers have fire magic.
Well, they sure do love firing people.
That's why they're not allowed in the union. True.
The legendary fire.
Also, Hyrie.
Hyrie. The rebuilding of this town was a long and arduous process. And all the while, Brazella must have been watching and laughing from the shadows.
Okay, so like... Sorry, I know I keep interrupting the dialogue to make predictions, but like...
No, it's good.
Which is good, and then this author comes along, sets the fire, and blames her, right? Like, this is what happens. I think this is what happened.
I think you're right.
Anyways.
I think...
Awful.
Yeah.
What is your prediction? Sorry.
No, I think you're right. I think that the Great Witch was good, and the author comes along. But I do also think the Great Witch is Darklaw, so I don't really know what her situation is.
Do you think this game got bad reviews because people think like it's gonna be like, oh yeah, the witch is actually good, but then it's actually kind of just like the witch sucks the whole time, and it's like, no, witch is evil. There's no twist.
We'll find out, I suppose. Hi, Dasher! Even now, the legend of long ago continues to cause real suffering amongst the townsfolk. To think that a painting of that fearful witch could be right here in the basement of my beloved library. What is it doing here, of all places? Is this your first time discovering a satanic temple underneath your church? Not mine. There's nothing for it. I'll just have to have this room sealed shut. Please, let's keep the existence of this room strictly between ourselves. For the good of the people. As for me, I shall do my best to forget all about this hidden room. I'm afraid I'd rather not remain in here a minute longer.
If I don't understand something, throw it away.
That's how it works when you run a library. That's how all librarians think. Every librarian is this way. I know several of them, and they all act this exact way 100%. Don't tell any of my friends in libraries who that I said that. Thank you. It's time I started closing up the library for the day.
Can't help but feel we've done something wrong.
Luke, do you recall the words towards the end of that message?
Do you mean, until then I will wait?
That's right. When we open this door, or rather, when we were guided towards opening this door, by God, I guess. I don't know how they were guided. I guess by the words or whatever. I could sense...
Your intellect, Professor.
I could sense someone else's will at work. It's almost as if our following Carmine and coming to this library had all been planned out in advance.
All librarians must have pink corkscrew hair. It's in their contract. You're so right.
That's
Dave.
exactly true.
Surely you don't mean that we were beckoned here by the great witch Bezella?
I keep reading it as like Beelzebub, but like just if you shorten Beelzebub to Beelza.
It is.
Or,
It
sorry, did
totally.
she have
You're
a full
totally
line
right.
before
It is
that?
totally Beelzebub. That's really funny.
Is that actually what it was? There a whole line before this?
Bezella?
No, there's no line before this.
Okay. Just a lot of dots. Just spend an ungodly amount of time.
Cutscene.
Oh, sorry. Cutscene.
Huh? Is something the matter? Are you feeling all right, Espella?
Yes, I'm fine, really.
I lied, actually.
Okay.
That was not a lot for a
We
cutscene.
needed a whole cutscene for that? Okay.
Just spent an ungodly amount of time trying to fix my internet, transferred to Phoenix Wright, trying to piece the case together, covered is one of my cats. I know which, but one of them will use this for getting headpats for a week. Are you just gonna choose randomly which one gets punished? Or are you they both not getting headpats?
Is it just like restricted head pats for everybody so everybody gets like a part of
I think
head
that's
pat?
considered collective punishment, which is a war crime.
Doing a war crime against your cat due to breaking your internet.
I mean, in fairness, who wouldn't, you know? Sometimes you gotta do a war crime against your pet. That's just normal.
I wouldn't. May would never. I would never do this to May.
You would never
She
do a
is
war
bad.
crime? You would never do a war crime to May?
She has decided that she likes to be on my desk now for the first time. Whenever I walk into the room and she's on it, I'm like, you know, you're not supposed. Anyways, we should keep going.
That's wonderful. Would May do a war crime to you?
7 cats. May does a war crime every morning.
One of the 7 cats will be sad for a week. Damn, you're just are you spinning a wheel? I need to know how you're deciding. Do you have a lead suspect?
1 cat per week.
Do you have a lead suspect like Phoenix Wright would have?
Right. Yeah. You're gonna question them. You're gonna point at them like you.
It's you.
And then you pet them with the finger. Please, let's keep going.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh.
Yes? What is it? It's just that, well, you've been so quiet. Oh, it's nothing. It's just that this room, it's a little chilly, don't you think? The atmosphere is a bit sinister, not to mention that scary picture. Maybe it's about time we made a move from here?
Yes, indeed.
Those words at the end of the message. I will wait. What if we weren't meant to be the ones being called here?
I realized that Espella does just have like a British accent this whole time, and I've
Yeah, but it's fine.
not that. Yeah. Ooh, how did that one change?
Secret being the ancient remains found hidden
Oh.
in the room of the library. This is also, it's saying that this
Fascinating.
is resolved now.
Oh, cool. Okay, that makes sense.
That's why it
Yeah,
has
yeah,
a
that
little
makes-
stamp on it.
Uh,
Same with this. I don't know that I would describe this thing as resolved. I'd love to know more about the storyteller, but you know what? All right, fair enough. I guess this is the one where we learn more about
storyteller
the
has a new
storyteller.
string. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. These two being resolved makes sense.
And that's all we needed that room for.
Phew. It's much more relaxing here, isn't it? It felt so intense and claustrophobic down there. Yes, it certainly did. The day has been full of surprises. Not only did I meet up with you two again, but we also found that mural in the library. I like recounting exactly what just happened. It seems that this town really does hold a mysterious secret, doesn't it?
It's like in a kids show when at the end they say, "We had a
They
great time
summarize
today.
everything.
We went and talked to this character and this character."
We went and we ran from the guards, and then we met a baker and a baker's assistant, and then we raided a library and found a secret door. What shall we do now?
I'd certainly like to learn more about this magic. We've been in here for quite some time. It must be getting late. It's probably best if we wind up our investigating for today and take a rest. You must both be feeling tired. I'm not, of course, because I'm a man.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I'd be happy to do a little bit more investigating with you two. But I have an errand to run before it gets too late, and also you keep saying extremely misogynistic things. I'm still up for investigating further. I'm not gonna do it. Whatever the puzzle, I'm ready to solve it. Luke, I could hear your tummy rumbling from here just now.
Their tummy rumbling sound effect is so funny. It's like a like his tummy has a screw, has like a spring in it. It's really good.
Well, I can't pretend I'm not a little hungry. If you haven't arranged accommodations yet, why don't you both stay at the bakery? There's a room free, so I'm sure it'd be alright. And Miss Claire would love to have you. What do you say?
Well, if you put it like that, we'd be delighted to stay. Thank you, Isabella.
And there's all that delicious bread, too. I'm looking forward to it already.
Hopefully that didn't come through. I kicked my desk.
No, it's good. Professor Layton, do you have to be going? Yes. Sorry for all the trouble we put you into. Not at all. Although I still can't get used to there being a secret room under the library. It's been a while since I last met someone capable of solving my puzzles. And as I promised, you have my permission to borrow the Grand Grimoire. If you have any need for it in the future, please do drop by and let me know. Thank you very much, Miss Mystery. It's been a pleasure. There's just one more thing. I have all of Labyrinthia's puzzles stored here in this library. As you continue with your investigations here in Labyrinthia, there will likely be puzzles that you cannot solve or which you do not find. Such puzzles will come to me. Anytime you wish to solve such puzzles, just visit me and I will show them to you.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Night.
Good night. Thanks for stopping by. Puzzles that we cannot solve or do not find, you say? Very well. Then I look forward to seeing you again. I'll be waiting. Please take care on your way home. It's already become dark out there. And if I remember rightly, the storyteller's latest story did mention the evening. You take care too. Until we meet again, Miss Mystery. Damn, we can just have it. Just let us have it.
Professor Layton is a harem anime?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Wow, it's already this dark out here. I didn't realize we were in there so long.
I've definitely been pronouncing it Mystare, but also been pronouncing it Mystery, because it's funny.
Yeah, I think Riddle Mystery is just a great... Yeah, it's clearly Mystare, and I think it's Riddle. Like, it's Riddle Mystere.
It's definitely Riddle Mystere, but there's something funny about just
But
having
Riddle
it be-
Mystery.
Riddle Mystery is really funny to me. Yeah. It looks as if it must have been raining up until a moment ago. The ground is still wet.
Yes, and that reminds me of what Miss Claire was saying before we left. She said, you might want to hurry, it looks like it might rain at any time. And then she hits that Phoenix guy over the head. Let's get a move on. You too, Isabella. Hey, where is she?
That's strange. She's not here.
She keeps disappearing.
Like a witch would.
I wonder where she could have gone.
Perhaps she's still in the Great Archive.
Slowly does it, step by step. Oh, are you two still here? Can you let me through? I have to lock up.
Hello, Dewey. Have you seen Isabella?
If you're looking for Isabella, she left while you were still talking to Miss Mystery.
I wonder why.
She said something about having to buy some milk, even though it was still raining.
Ah, yes. I do remember Mr. Clair asking her to get some milk for the bakery.
It was raining, you said?
Yes, it started raining about the time you all went down into the library basement. Oh, and Isabella left just now. It did look as if the rain was about to stop. Yes, she left a message for you. She said to go back without her.
But she didn't have to go alone, especially in the dark.
I'm sure she'll be fine. If it's only milk she needs, then she can get it at the market. It's not far, so she should be back soon. If anything, I'd be more worried about you two being the ones in danger. I'm gonna threaten you now. You know, in the story, it said there were 2 companions. If your work here is finished, then I suggest you both go home. I don't want to catch up. I don't want to get caught up in anything.
Luke, why don't we head back to the bakery and wait for Isabella there?
I suppose so. I guess she'll be alright. Right?
She's dead. She's dead. Howzar, should we
Well,
take a break?
I was about to say, I think this is probably a great spot to take a little breaky
Cool.
and come back.
We will
and
be
check
back
up on that
then.
milk.
Yeah, we'll
and
be
also
back.
the person who got the milk.
Yeah, totally. We'll
Yeah.
go grab milk with Isabella.
Go get that milk.
All right,
As they
back
say.
back soon.